Welcome to the Aggressively Average Skateboarding channel. My name is Austin Urlocker, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 creative and hopefully fun ledge tricks that you should try. Not only that, but at the end of this video, I'm going to be taking the last trick I share with you and add a little spice at the end of it, and hopefully land one of probably the raddest tricks I've ever done on a ledge. I'm stoked for this video. I hope you're stoked as well. If you're really looking for some new creative and fun tricks that are going to get some board taps from the homie at your local park the next time you hit it up, this video is going to be for you. Before we get into our first trick for today's video, I'm just going to ask that if you enjoy the content or you're searching for more creators that offer beginner and intermediate skateboarding advice, tips, guide videos, things like that, give the like button a smash and subscribe to the content. There's plenty more videos to come. The first trick I'm going to be sharing today is the frontside 5-0 to backside board slide. Now this is a bit of a continuation of my last video I did, the how to get better at ledge skateboarding fast. In that video I shared a creative combo that was very easy to learn, and that was just the front 50-50 to frontside board slide out on a ledge. This one is really kind of the next level up, where you're doing that 5-0 grind. Ideally, lock on top of the ledge, hold that long 5-0, and then towards the end, you're giving a shift to your hips while keeping your shoulders out straight like that for the front 50, and just force that frontside board slide out of the ledge. We're gonna warm up with a couple basic front 50-50s before we give this 5-0 front board a shot. Just like the last video, I want to clean that up a little bit. This is going to be true when doing the 5-0, even with the basic 50-50. I want to keep my feet, when I'm in that front board, as wide as possible. The mistake I made right there was my front foot was too far back behind the bolts, and I really want them like right centered over the bolts, so I have the balance and control to turn that front board slide out back to regular. Now it's time to practice some of the 5-0s before we move on to the actual trick. One thing that's going to be important with the 5-0 is making sure that I'm locked fully on top of the ledge rather than being kind of on the side like that. I need the confidence to ollie high enough so I can plant myself down here. Ideally, I don't want to drag my tail and just let it glide. The big issues with being able to control long 5-0s is if I turn my shoulders a little too far into the ledge, I'm going to start manually off of the ledge in the wrong direction. So what's going to be super important with this trick is to keep my shoulders out like that the entire time. And when I'm twisting my body for the front board, I only want to twist my hips while keeping my shoulders out. It was ugly, but the camera's going to overheat here soon, so I'm going to just start going to the front board. No, that doesn't count. Even if you miss your 5-0 like I just did right there, still try to throw that front board in, just so you can get the repetition down on lock. Way too hot to be skating outside or even filming outside, so we're gonna finish the rest of this video up at KTR Scottsdale. The next trick we're gonna go for is switch board slide to front board. If you can't tell already by this point in the video, I'm really into switch board slides and front board variations. First, let's get our legs warmed up on the ledge with just a couple of the basics. First 3 tricks in a row went pretty solid. Let's move into the switch front board. When I'm on the switch board slide position, similar to that switch board fake spin out I shared in my last video, I really want to make myself kind of tilted at an angle, so it makes it easier to push on my tail, turn my hips and shoulders at the same time, and make that 180 movement into the front board. I still want to keep my shoulders out when I'm in that front board position, just like the 5-0 front board, so I can force the board slide and turn myself out cleanly. Let's get it. So next trick is actually going to be one I don't think I've ever actually done. It's going to be the switch board slide to frontside 5-0. You can do 50s pretty well. They're really fun, but I think doing the actual 5-0 makes it legit. It shouldn't be that much harder than a 50, just really pushing and leaning back into that 5-0 weight once I get onto the ledge. So we came back to KTR Scottsdale. It's like a week later, actually. I wanted to reshoot the breakdown of our last trick here, which is going to be the switch board slide to frontside nose grind. It was just getting a little too loud and chaotic during the last session, so the audio was a little iffy. It's a little more quiet this time. I'll do my best to reduce it. Let's knock this last trick out before we move on to the special challenge trick. I actually learned this trick about 2 weeks ago. First session, it took me the entire like hour and a half to get my first one. Came back the next day, did 3 in a row. So I think this trick is really more of a mental battle. Very similar to all the other switch board slide variations. I've talked about keeping my feet spread wide on the ledge. Particularly on this trick, I almost have my back foot like near the top of the tail by the time I'm going into that nose grind. I find it just helps me keep a little bit of balance, and I want to give it like a very light tap on my tail and try and stay as light on my front nose as possible. That way I'm not sticking my nose onto the ledge and losing a lot of my speed. If you're grinding and having my nose touch the ledge itself, I'm way more likely to not make it off the ledge or just completely fall forward. So it's best having my back foot as far back on the tail as possible and keeping my weight centered over the front bolts. By the time I'm coming to the end, just giving a little push off like a regular nose grind. You lose a lot of speed going from the switch board slide into the nose grind itself. The most common falls I've been having lately, either tapping my tail or tapping my wheels because I'm not going fast enough. I'm not giving enough of a push out on my nose to do a legitimate nose grind out. Let's give the switch board slide nose grind a shot. One of the mistakes I made right there is when I was in my nose grind, my truck was more off the ledge than on. Very important trick to be fully on top of the ledge, because when pushing out of that nose grind, if you're off the side like that, you're just gonna fall to the side. Set up perfectly for that one, but just missed the push out on the nose. So now that I've shared 5 insanely fun and creative tricks that I love doing and I think you should go out and try on a ledge, I do want to cap this video off, like I said at the beginning, with taking one of my tricks that I shared in this video and really adding some spice onto it to do one of the most tech tricks that I've ever done on a ledge. We had a little bit of a change up. Originally, as I said in the beginning of the video, that this was going to be based off the last trick I showed you, and the original trick I had in mind was switch board slide nose grind to nollie big spin out. I was super stoked on this idea. As soon as I learned switch board slide nose grinds, a couple days after, I had gotten a switch board slide nose grind nollie shove out, and it felt like the nollie big spin was very possible. But I've gone through like 4 sessions right now, and you're probably seeing some clips of these attempts. It just hasn't happened yet. This is going to be an ongoing battle for me. I don't want to hold the video up, but while I was practicing this trick, I had really learned a handful of other new tricks, like switch board slide 5-0 variations. I ended up getting a switch board slide 5-0 to tail slide out and switch board slide 5-0 to front lip. And honestly, it came into my mind of like, oh, you know what's kind of at an equal level of tech craziness is the switch board slide 5-0 front lip and do a big spin out of that. So we're going to end the video showing the process of me going for this trick. Let's get into it. Oh, okay. That's the video. Even though we didn't get the nollie big spin out, that one is definitely coming. I'm very happy with the switch board slide 5-0 to front lip to big spin out. That's a mouthful. So if you enjoyed this video, if you liked the content, you found any of these ideas helpful or fun to try, go ahead and leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We got plenty more videos coming, and let me know. Do you have any other ledge combo ideas that you think I should try based on what you've seen of my skating? Or let me know about that last trick. Do you think the front lip to big spin out is on the same level as the nose grind nollie big spin out. Honestly, I think it's kind of a controversial trick. I've looked it up. Coming out of that front lip, you're really just doing a shove, but I see a lot of people call it big spin. That's why I call my switchboard slide big spin out a big spin, but it really is just a shove. What are your thoughts on that? Is the big spin out, do you think, is the actual right term for that trick, or it should actually be called a shove? Anyways, thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.